Hi everybody and welcome to Pit Stop. Well, we all know how tragic the Toronto Indy was this year, but in spite of that, we do have some stories to tell you about, and on this week's edition we'll talk about the Sony Mini Disc Enduro Series and the IndyCar race. And first up it is the Sony Enduro Series as we go to that right now. About 50 cars for this race. That's a big group of guys. Where do you sit?
Well, I haven't got our qualifying sheet for today, but we're back. I think we're going to be back by the 10th row. But it's crowded. It's really crowded. It's hard even for qualifying to get a fast lap in. You'll do 3/4 of the track. You'll have a hot lap going. You'll be in the slower traffic, have to go offline to pass them, so it slows you up. It's going to be the same in the race, too.
Sitting back by 20th with this kind of a track, it's not a really nice place to be considering it's only 40 minutes.
No, there's going to be a lot of traffic to get through right at the start. But playing it safe at the start is going to be the secret because there's going to be a lot of crowd going into corner 3 at the end of the straight in the first lap.
You've mentioned already, and we've seen it with qualifying and some, well, both qualifying sessions. Turn 11 is going to be the one that really is going to be the telling tale of the race, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. They've changed the track, and that's a shorter corner now, so you go left, right, left, and when you come out of there, the corner actually closes up on you, and it takes a lot of guys off guard, and you end up in the wall right there at the exit of level.
Good luck in the race. It's Sunday morning, and we wish you all the best.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Bye. So you're saying you got to start in Montreal. This time it's Dave's turn, huh?
Yeah, I think the fun factor and the excitement factor is higher in the first couple of laps. I just hope we get through the first couple here, because as you know, when a car hits the wall, that's it. They shut the circuit down until it's cleared. But yeah, Dave gets the fun part. By the time I get in at the halfway point, they'll be spread out a little bit more.
You happy about that? Because there was some 49 cars in registration, but after a couple of incidents, a little bit less than that, but not much.
Not much, no. I love the first corner. Yeah, the adrenaline's pumping pretty high. You don't get the same sort of tension before the race when you're going in at midpoint because you're normally not crowded up with a bunch of people in the first corner. But no, we got to, you know, he pays the bills, so we got to take our turn.
All right, all the best.
Thanks very much. Appreciate it.
Well, on the pole here in Montreal, the UFO Land Corvette is going to be the one that leads this field around some 48 strong as they get set to go onto the grid. So what we're going to do is just find out what's going on here. Going to have to come in and interrupt just for a moment, guys. Excuse me for a second. Who's going to be starting the race?
He will be me. He's the fastest driver.
Sean, you get to lead this bunch into corner 1.
Yeah, I hope so. It's a pretty big field, and we got some little things to test on the car on the face lap. We had a short warm-up this morning. We got our fingers crossed.
Hope to have some fiberglass by the time you get into it. It's going to be busy out there.
Yes, and we have a trouble with the brake, so maybe after one lap we have to stop.
Okay, well, all the best to you then.
Thank you very much.
Well, you get to lead the Mustang Brigade. Never mind trying to get to the front. You got a bunch of guys behind you that are going to try to get past you in a hurry.
Well, this is going to be a very exciting race. You know, 49 cars starting here today at Toronto, and on a circuit that's been changed. We have no experience starting here. There's a lot of fast cars at the front. It's really going to be exciting. I think it's going to produce a very dramatic race. Good luck. Thanks very much.
Tough break in Montreal and almost a tough break here. You tag the wall in 11. That's a new tricky combination to learn.
Yes, the problem is we didn't really have enough practice here with the 2 new corners to put onto the racetrack. And as you know, if you think you're going to hold Fox, you're trying harder than anybody else does, and we just tried a little bit too hard. And but we got away with it. You know, I just didn't get off the accelerator. I said, hey, if I go off, I'm going to hit the wall on the other side. So I just kept steering towards the wall and put the pedal down. You know, we came away with a little scratch on it. So I kind of sent Moses the feel for my new decal.
Talk about the race then. Are you going to be aggressive on the first lap or take it easy?
Absolutely not. You know, every time people get aggressive in the first lap in the first corner, incident is going to happen. You know, we see it in Montreal, and I'm sure we're going to see it here. I'm not, you know, I don't doubt it, but there are 6 experienced drivers in the front. I think it shouldn't happen. You know, it just depends what happens behind us.
Okay, good luck then.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Toronto show and tell time, buddy.
It is. It's 49 cars going into corner 1. It's going to be some showtime.
All right, Greg's going to start. We'll look forward to seeing you in the car later.
Great. Yep. Greg's going to start. You know, he's a consistent driver, and we're just going to go hard and take this race.
Good luck.
Okay.
Did you guys have to flip a coin to see who was going to start?
No, it's part of our determined race strategy that I start the race.
You missed the session the other day for a business meeting, so you get to start.
Exactly, exactly.
Congratulations in Montreal. That was a job well done. You're really coming along.
Thanks very much. It was a good race. I really enjoyed it. It was fun to get out front and then be able to stay out there.
Stay out there today, huh?
Tried my best.
Oh, one of the cars we haven't had a chance to talk to yet, we're going to do so now. Scotty Maxwell just arrived today after running Sears Phone, so Anthony's going to be starting in the car. You got a lot of guys ahead of you.
We sure do. We're going to have to work our way right to the top. Scott's back, and I think we'll do okay today.
Okay, good luck then.
Thank you.
Oh, you heard it. 49 strong as some get some engine work ready to start. Green flag drops, and the Corvette thunders towards turn 1 in Toronto. Pick up the field through corner number 1 now. Really, it was a good race, 40 laps, and that turn 11 didn't turn out to be a problem at all. Here you see them coming through corner 11 now, and they really did behave themselves through this corner, in spite of the fact that they had so much problems during those other days of qualifying on Friday. So now that you've arrived, you got to figure out what's going on and then get yourself into that mindset.
Yeah, I've been away all weekend, so I just got here for the warm-up. Did about 5-6 laps this morning and tried to figure everything out. So I'm a bit, you know, behind the ball today, but I think we'll be okay. The car's working well, and Anthony's doing a good job so far.
I think you're probably experienced enough that you can figure out this combination that's been giving these guys a problem all weekend.
Yeah, it is tricky for sure, but right now I'm fighting lack of sleep more than the track. So I'm just hoping I can perform up to my level that I like to. So we'll find out soon enough.
Good luck.
Thanks.
And they performed to a 4th place finish overall. This is a restart now. The Sony Mini Disc Enduro Series back underway, and we've got some pit stops occurring right now as Scotty Maxwell is about to get into the Quality Care Ford Mustang. You see them coming in behind the MR2 of DeFrancesco. Polito brings the car to a stop. Jeff opens the door and helps Polito get out. Scott will climb in, get himself buckled in. And I don't know how these guys get buckled in so quick, but before you know it, watch this. Watch his hand on the shifter, and Scott's away in just no time at all. There he goes. Scotty Maxwell to a 4th place finish. Now we pick up the action in corner number 10. On their way to the victory podium is Kenny Wilden and Greg Wilkins. Let's meet up with them. Congratulations, a job well done.
Thanks very much. Great day for the Vanguard car and Trizac Horsham. It was nice. We had a lot of sponsors here from SLP. The Firehawk car really ran well. Really well.
What more can you say?
Nope, can't say anything more than that.
Hey, you gave him the car to bring it home. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot. It was a really fun race. Unfortunately, I got a great start, went from 8th to 5th, and was racing with the guys. Then we got the yellow, and on the restart, I missed a shift on Lakeshore and watched everybody go by me. I could have cried in the car.
Well, it ended up for the good. Congratulations.
Sure did. Thanks very much.
Well, you put the fenders back on, and you're out there. Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm sorry for Benoit because he won the both races in Montreal and he was expecting a win here, and I just had 15 minutes of practice on that car, so it was not that bad. But the top of the shifter linkage went loose, and I missed shift. I put it in 5th instead of 3rd gear, exiting the corner number 2. So Kenny was coming in. I can hear his V8 roar inside me, and I had to let him by because he was inside. That was a clean pass, my mistake. And after that, traffic was not very good for me.
Okay, well, you're on the podium now, and let's see what Benoit has to say about it. Come on in here, Benoit. You said it at the start of the race. You had the horsepower and the braking, but it wasn't quite at the end.
Yeah, not quite. Well, I tried to pass him 2 times on braking point, but he shut the door 2 times. But and after that, I missed 2 shifts on the backstretch, so he let me by. So disappointing for me.
All right, well, you're on the podium. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Well, you know, I saw a bunch of guys on the wall with these players' suits on, and they were taking notes.
Yeah. I'm not surprised, you know what? I didn't spread the word I was racing, but they discovered which car I was running, so... But I did okay, so I'm not ashamed of what I've done. We started from 7, and we ended up 2nd after a few laps. And I think we had a good chance to win the race, but it's a short race, and there was too many yellows before. I got going, and then we had to change driver, and Jeff couldn't get going as quickly. So we ended up 3rd, but I'm satisfied with my driving. It was fun.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations to everybody. Let's move on to Indy cars now because we have some words about the event at the end of this program. course, we all know what happened, the tragic loss of lives to Gary Abend and to Jeff Krosnoff. So let's move to Friday first and talk about qualifying. Cars on the track for the first round of qualifying on Friday. Pretty exciting stuff with this new combination. Apparently, all the drivers really enjoyed it, that stretch that took them down into turn one. They really, really enjoyed it.
Warming up the engine, getting ready for qualifying. Glad to have that practice session under your belt.
I wish we had a lot more of them. Obviously, you know, we've been out since March, and it's certainly showing here today, but oh no, I don't know if we can expect a lot more. I certainly like to move up here in qualifying this afternoon and improve again tomorrow, but we'll just wait to see what happens and get ready for race day.
Well, that's one session down and another one tomorrow, but we're going to have to wait and see about the weather.
Yeah, well, it's a good session for us. We were on top there until the last 5 minutes, and we went out early with our second set of new tires, and that's the way it goes. I mean, we're in the top 5. I think we'll probably, you know, maybe someone might get us, you know, in the second session, but I'm still happy where we are.
Yeah, I think it was a good job. There's really not much to complain about. What do you think of the configuration? How's it going to set up for the race?
It's going to make for a better race, I think, because you're going to be able to follow somebody through, you know, the last 2 turns there instead of before you couldn't follow anybody real closely, but now you will, and it'll be a big drag race down in turn 1 there.
Hey, we'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks.
Notice your gear's set up to go in the backup car for Paul. How come?
Basically, we've got some things that we want to try right away this morning, and so I'm going to run the T car, and then we'll get in my race car and just compare it back to back.
Okay, you got yours set up obviously different to Paul's. Now, is the T car set up the same as Paul's though, or is that different again?
No, that's different again. We're you know, we're just trying some stuff. Actually, all 3 of us, Emerson, Paul, and myself, and we stuck a 4th one in there for me to run. So
that's the beauty of the multiple cars. You can set them up all different and try it out, because with the new setup, you got to get things down pretty quick.
Yeah, we do actually, because you really don't have a lot of time. And then, you know, we're actually utilizing 4 cars, and versus like the Reynard. The Reynard has how many cars that they're running, and with the Lola, they're running how many cars, you know, and so it gives us a little bit better idea with the new configuration what it's gonna take. And then once we get through this session, then we'll go back to the truck and we'll all sit down and then come up with the best car.
And we leave Friday and go to Gretzky's Friday night.
The whole week has been spectacular, and when I think back to 10 years ago when we first started this thing, we started off with a black tie dinner, and we wondered, okay, what we've got to do is make this a week-long series of events, have a lot of fun, raise a lot of money for kids' charities, and if we could do that, we would get people involved in motorsport. And if you got them involved in motorsport, the race would be a bigger success. And I think it's evident now, actually it's 11 years later, that Toronto has really made it big time in motorsport. Everybody loves coming to Toronto. The series events, drivers come to as many things as they possibly can, and we raise a lot of dollars.
On to Saturday now with the final qualifying. You're going to be starting on the outside of the front row, but what happened in that last session? Chip seems to be a little upset right now.
I am upset because, I mean, these guys, they don't have any respect. I mean, I'm not saying everybody, but they don't have any respect of each other, and they don't understand that by doing that, they're going to get screwed another day by somebody else. And yesterday I got held up in qualifying, and that was a shame because twice I was gonna grab the pole. We overlaid the lap last night, and it was definitely much quicker than my fastest lap yesterday. And today again I had 8 times Paul Tracy on my way. I don't know. I mean, those guys are paid $1 million. They should be very professional and understand that this is something that you're not supposed to do. But it's not up to me to stop that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, we had a good qualifying. We were one of the few to improve. We wanted to be the fastest Goodyear car. We're, I think, a 6/1000th of a second away from that. But but we made improvements in the car tomorrow. You know, historically it seems that the good years don't really, may not be the qualifiers, but come race day they maintain a level. And maybe the Firestone doesn't quite, you know, it's good for a couple laps and they have a bit of a fall off. So, you know, hopefully that case, if it rains tomorrow, I think we're looking pretty good. The Goodyear rain tire is quite good, and we've been doing pretty well in the rain. You know, we're fourth row, so we're up towards the front. You know, I prefer not to rain, and I prefer everything to go just the way we want and be competitive. And I think we are competitive. It's just going to be a matter of you know, everything going our way.
Let's move to Sunday, race day now, where everything started off just fine and dandy. Ribeiro signs autographs while other drivers just mingle and talk before they get into their cars, and the festivities include bagpipes.
This is the day we were looking, a sunny day, not very hot, it's perfect.
And the Hondas
are doing great. Fantastic engine, fantastic people. Firestone also is doing a fantastic job. Everything just seems fantastic.
Hey, glad to have you back in Toronto, and once again you start from the second row.
Yeah, it's fourth last year and fourth this year. Hopefully this year's race will be a bit longer. We broke a water line running third last year, so hopefully we can make a bit further. But you know, all in all, this is a great day, and looks like the weather's gonna hold tight for us. And I think everybody's gonna go out there and see us put on a great show.
You got the best tire for this kind of condition.
Yes, Firestone's really shown the way this year. You know, winning 10 of the 14 races so far, and hopefully we can make it 15 today.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Scott.
Well, this is it. You know, it's Sunday's payday. It doesn't matter how you qualify and everything. You got to finish there. You got to be on the victory podium come race day, and you know we're here. The race is only a couple hours away till the end, so we just got to do our job, and I think we can win this race.
Going to start off with a slow, steady pace. Pretty much a traditional style for you.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. I mean, if I find somehow I'm leading after the first lap, hey, I'm not going to back off. I'm just going to keep going. So, you know, my job is to try and win this one and do the best I can.
No doubt about it. Good luck.
Thanks.
Tracy and the crew gather together and give themselves a cheer before the start as Greg Moore gets ready to climb into his car after the driver parade. 1996 edition of the Toronto Indy, the 11th time here. They're getting set to go. On the pole, Andre Ribeiro, and on the outside we've got Zanardi, and guess what? We've got Honda and Firestone. Let's see how it turns out. Boy, it turned out real well. Firestone's and Goodyear's the big battle this year. Fernandez getting ready. You know, Firestone took the top spots all around. They were the clear-cut advantage all weekend long. Ribeiro getting set to climb into his car. The Hondas, another story this year. Paul Tracy climbing into his car. Of course, him running to Ilmore this year, they've been having some troubles, it seems. They've been starting to pick up the pace. Greg Moore's been really doing well with the Ilmore. Ribeiro climbs in, getting set to fire the engines. It's always a sweet sound at the start of a race. Turn one action now as we get into the start of the race. Green flag to fuel, sort of funneling down into corner number one. That wide front straight brings them down into corner one, and this is what happens. You get debris on the track, a little bit of contact at the start of the race, but one of the track marshals will come over, pick that up, and hurry over the wall before the cars come to safety. Yellow and red, slippery conditions. Back to corner one again as we've got the number 2 going through. Little Al leading some of the cars through. Greg Moore on his way through as well. Now we move over to corner number 5. Zanardi coming through. Greg Moore on his way to corner number 5 as well. Looking at Lakeshore now, some of the action, some high speeds and some very dangerous situations. Jimmy Vassar through corner number 3. 4 here now as we see that we've got the cars coming through. Greg Moore and Goodyear through corner number 5. Vassar now through. Blundell now. We get the backside of the cars as they exit corner 5 on their way to corner 6. The carousel turn, a really tricky corner for the Molson Indy. They got to watch it there. Picking up the action through corner number 9 into 10. Bobby Rahal through there as well as the Takati car. Fernandez on his way as well. Greg Moore in for a pit stop. Greg held the lead for several laps, but he did have to come in for a pit stop and he relinquished the lead. Andretti brings out a full course yellow. He's parked on the back straight on Lakeshore Drive as the field will gather up behind the pace car getting set for a restart. And I do like the way they restart these cautions this year as well, I might add. All right, pace car into the pits as we have the field under power through corner number 11 on their way to the end of this race. Fernandez will lead the field to the checkered flag. Good job for Fernandez, and really well done for the entire Ducati team. And here they are, Mexican flag waving as they celebrate a victory, a bittersweet victory. Steve Horn there, he's going to get a hug in a moment. Oh, good job, guys. They are happy in spite of what happened. They do have that in their minds. Believe me, you see smiles, but they do have that in their mind, and they are aware of what happened. And what happened, of course, we all know. Here's the ambulance going past the winning team's pit in front of the victory podium. A somber moment for all as we witness the ambulance coming across the victory celebration. Bobby Rahal on the podium in Toronto once again, a third-place finish. And Zanardi, great job for Zanardi, second place. With the Mexican flag in his hands, Adrian Fernandez celebrates a win in Toronto. A bittersweet celebration it is, but Adrian Fernandez, the Toronto Molson Indy winner for 1996. A bittersweet win indeed, and more on that in a moment. We have our response line available to you to call and leave a message should you want to know information about sending a letter. 905-436-3500 is our response line. That's 905-436-3500. Now, as far as my comments and concerns about the race, I leave you with these words. Family and friends of track marshal Gary Avron and IndyCar driver Jeff Krosnoff will have the tragic closure of the Toronto Molson Indy forever in their minds. For the rest of us, we too will never forget that horrific scene. As days turn into weeks and weeks to years, the pain will be subdued, but not forgotten. Did Stefan Johansson try to block Jeff, or was he attempting a pass on Emerson Fittipaldi without checking his mirrors? Who knows? Or should we care? Damn right we should care. People lost their lives. My immediate reaction as to the cause is one of anger towards Johansson for shutting the door on Jeff in a vain attempt to block a passing maneuver. Due to Network's repetitive plays of the crash, of which are sickening, I have taken back only partially my thoughts about how. Stefan will have to answer that. Enough said about how, after all, at this point, we are without a dedicated marshal in Gary and a talented driver in Jeff. Two people sharing a love for the sport, one through volunteering his time and the other employed to drive. I have met Gary, no, not in person, but in people like you and friends that marshal. Motorsports enthusiasts are a breed that love the sport beyond anything else. Gary was no exception. A person that traveled from race to race at his own expense, volunteering to protect the safety of others. I have heard appalling stories this week about the marshals, the lack of training and safety. I asked those people to attend a marshalling school before passing judgment. I had been to marshalling school and stood at corner 1 at Mosport with a flag in my hand. The training and expertise is tops, bar none. Since then, I, along with Cheetah, Melanie, and Deneil, have stood beside the marshals shooting sequences for this show. While your adrenaline pumps with excitement, your mind stays cautious of the instant danger. It is a very scary place to be. You can appreciate this statement at times like this. Jeff was a young, eager driver, happy to be doing what he loved, driving race cars, particularly Indy cars. Should he or Gary lose their lives because of it? Absolutely not. You always hear that drivers know the risk and live with it. Well, I can tell you that is partially true, the part about knowing. But no driver will tell you that today is the day that I want to die in a race car. In fact, you spend every lap on the track preserving your life on the fine line of speed and control, doing your best for yourself and the team. If you're second, you want first. If you're 22nd, you want 21st. To get it, you will just about attempt anything, but not death. Our condolences to the family and friends of Gary Avron and Jeff Krosnoff. May the hurt be cushioned by the memories of better days with your loved ones. Pit Stop also extends best wishes to the IndyCar, Molson Indy, and marshalling families' continued strength as you forge ahead. I will also add at this time that we have been planning to do a feature story on marshalling that will be shot during the IMSA World Sports Car event at Mosport. It has always been our intention to show you this very special group of people. We dedicate this story to Gary Avron, for I know he would tell you to sign up, be a marshal. You'll love it. As I mentioned previously, the repetitive showing of the crash has been sickening. In an attempt to pay respect and show that Jeff was more than a victim of a crash, we leave you with an interview we did with Jeff Krosnoff after Friday's qualifying at the Toronto Molson Indy, as well as these words I utter at the end of each regional weekend I announce. A very special thanks to the marshals who endure all sorts of adverse conditions, to the track crews, safety workers, and Canadian timing and scoring people. Without your help, racing would not be possible. We thank you.
Well, considering you guys are pretty much racing in development stages, you happy with 20th?
Well, it's our best qualifying to date, so we're pretty happy. And we had some problems. We didn't get out as much as we'd have liked this morning, so I don't feel the car is quite as good as I would like. And we also had a little bit of problems with the engine because this is a brand new engine, another step in the development, another iteration. So, I'm pretty pleased overall, but I look for some improvement tomorrow. Maybe if we can get up the grid a little bit more in the teens, it would be nice.
Well, as a driver, obviously you want to get up higher, as you may much understand what you're up against.
Yeah.
How is your relationship with Dan Gurney's team at Toyota? Are they the factory in your support? How does it work?
I guess you would classify it that way, although I don't really feel there's an attitude like that. I mean, they have a whole nother kind of agenda with the engine, with the chassis that they're developing on their own. And we're just looking after the engine mainly. So, we try and work as closely as we can and still have a good competitive spirit going between us. And I think, it shows, every time we improve, they improve, we improve. So I think it's going to be good.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you very much.